A Box of Alibis by Mary Marcial, voiced by Brian Marcial, great-grandnephew. Chapter 1. The squealing of tires and blaring car horns brings me back to the present. What's the matter with me? I grip the wheel in a frantic effort to return to my lane, causing some of my passengers to be thrown to the floor. Sweat forms a bead on my forehead, and my hands begin to shake as I think how close I came to an accident. The passenger's not only scared but very angry. "Let us out of here, you moron! Are you trying to kill us?" shouts the man in the back row. "I'm terribly sorry, folks. Is everyone all right?" "Open the doors immediately and let us off. We're going to have to report this to the bus company. You aren't fit to drive a bus." "You made your last run if we have anything to say about it," adds the woman in the seat behind me. Sitting alone in the empty bus, I slide my trembling body down in the driver's seat and lower my head on my arms, with my hands still clutching the steering wheel. My body shakes with uncontrollable sobs, leaving me wrung out and weak. I feel like such a failure. The events that have brought me to this point began a month ago. I remember making my usual run at the last stop of the day. A loud piercing screech startles a few remaining passengers. I bolt from the driver's seat and rush to the back of the bus, jerking open the door to the small lavatory. There in the sink is a pink blanket wrapped around a very upset little baby. Who left their baby in here? I looked at each passenger squarely in the eye, expecting someone to come forward. No one seems to know how the baby got there, or who last used the lavatory. Most of them are sitting at the front of the bus. "Okay, I need your name and address before you get off the bus so I can give the information to the police. They want to talk to you. Someone knows something. The baby sure didn't get here on its own." As I sit in the waiting room at the local police station, it suddenly strikes me as how unfair life can be. Here we are trying to find the mother who abandoned her baby, and for the past 4 years we have done everything medically and physically possible to have a baby of our own. "Mr. Hampton, can you come with me? I have some questions for you before we wrap this up." The officer Small's office seems very unorganized, with papers strewn about, and coffee mugs littering the desk. The sight makes me wonder just how competent the officer could be, if he can't even keep his desk organized. "I'm Sergeant Maxwell. Tell me again just how you found the baby, and exactly where were you on the route at the time?" "I've been over this 3 times with the other officers," I responded a little too impatiently. "Do I have to keep repeating myself? Just want to make sure I got all the facts correct. One more time, please, then you can go." "I heard the baby cry just about the time I pulled up to the Elm and Park bus stop. I ran to the back and found her in the lavatory wrapped in a pink blanket. I questioned the remaining passengers, but none of them knew anything about her. So I took their names and addresses and let them leave. I thought you could look them up if you wanted to question them. That's all I know." "All right for now. If you think of anything else, I expect you to let me know. I'll give you my card and my cell phone number on it. I notified the social services, but it may be a while before we find a foster family to take care of her. The whole system is stretched to the limit, and funds are short. I'll get a female officer to take care of her until we get her into the system. I know this is an unusual request, officer, but my wife and I would be delighted to take care of her until you can find a family for her. My wife's not working and has a lot of time in her hands. It would be a welcome change for her, and the baby would be well taken care of. I'll give her a call if you think it would work." "Go ahead, Mr. Hampton. I'll clear with my superior. You can use this phone, and I'll head upstairs to get permission." My hands are trembling as I dial my home phone. How she would love to take care of a little one, even just for a brief time, and I would be her hero. "Lily, listen to me for a minute. I found an abandoned baby on the bus today, and the officers don't have anyone to take care of her. I told them I thought we could take care of her until they find a home. What do you think?" "Oh, Ralph, you know how I'd love the chance to take care of her." "I'll run to the store and get some supplies and be ready by the time you get home. Love you." Officer Margie Tollbridge, carrying the little bundle, escorts me to my house. As we approach my house, the door swings open and Lily races down the stairs. Let me see her. Oh, such a little baby. She can't be any more than a month old. It's such a beautiful little thing. How could anyone give her up? Believe me, Mrs. Hampton, there's a lot of lousy mothers in this world. Drugs have created an epidemic of abandoned babies, causing a real social problem. I hope she won't be too much trouble, and we'll sure thank you for being so thoughtful. I'll send the social worker by in the morning to do the paperwork. Again, thanks. Satisfied, the baby was safe. She gets in the patrol car and leaves. A smile spreads across my face as I watch the love of my life glow with happiness. I love how she tosses her chestnut hair from her shoulders and snuggles the baby close to her. She would make a wonderful mother. Why had God denied her, I wondered. I hold the door, and you go ahead. The next morning, the social worker assigned to the case arrives just as breakfast dishes are being put away. Ralph has already left for his bus route, and Lily is preparing to bathe the baby. The knock on the door is a sound Lily had been dreading to hear. She pulls herself together and opens the door. Hello, I suppose you're the social worker I've been expecting. Please come in. Good day, Mrs. Hampton. I'm Gloria Melbourne, this caseworker assigned to this little girl. Can I see the baby? She asks, looking about her as she enters. A nice, neat home. She thinks to herself. Of course, right in here. I was just getting her ready for a bath. She's a beautiful baby. Such pretty blue eyes and pink cheeks. It's hard to understand how people can just do such an inhumane thing as leaving behind an innocent baby. The crack and cocaine used in this country has made monsters out of otherwise decent people. I don't understand it either. I love her already, and I'd just known her for only one night. Well, it looks like she has found a loving home. So, I can see to it you can keep her until we find her a foster home. Would that be all right with you and your husband? Oh, yes, thank you. I'll take good care of her. Maybe we can apply to be a foster home and we can keep her longer. Will she be put up for adoption? There's a lot of hoops to jump through before we ever get to that point. However, I don't see any reason you can't qualify to foster her until then. Great, let me know what we have to do, and we'll do it. I'll go back to the office and talk with my supervisor. If we do this, we'll have to do a background check on you and your husband. But I don't see any problem if you pass it. I'll call you after and I'll get an answer. I'll be going now, so I'll just let myself out. You just stay here and finish up the bath. Ralph pulls up to the first stop on his route, and his cell phone rings. Hello, Ralph here. Oh, honey, I got good news. The social worker says we may be able to foster her until she is adopted. That's all right with you, isn't it? Of course, sweetheart. That's wonderful. We'll talk this evening. I have to keep moving now. Love you.